All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is another viewer request video, and it's so cool how this is picking up. I swear, I remember like a couple of weeks ago, I was like begging for stocks, and now almost every day I have a couple of viewer requests to do, which is really cool. All right, do not hesitate to throw any tickers my way, whether it's a penny stock, ETF, big stock, small stock, whatever. All right, I really do my best to put it either the next day or the day after. All right, and honestly, I have found some cool stocks. This looks like a really interesting chart for sure. And again, we'll get into all the details shortly, but real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. This is the first time I'm looking at this stock, so I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, subscribe, share this video, whatever you can do. It really does help with the YouTube algorithms. But honestly, if you do nothing at all, I am so grateful that you're here watching this, okay? There's so many better things you could be doing, but I appreciate you being here, okay? Let's get into it. And again, look, what do I like to do when I see a new stock? I'm just going to zoom out real quick, right? Let me see what this stock is used to doing. And, oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Look, when this stock can get over all the moving averages, when this stock can get the 8 moving average on its side, oh man, this thing can do some nasty things. It's definitely bounced on the 100. It's definitely lost. I mean, this thing knows how to use moving averages when it's good. And it's definitely been losing to the moving averages since it lost, okay? Man, all right, cool. Good to know. Again, I for sure am focusing on the last year, literally a year, right? A little more than a year, right? Little past 2020, little through 23, right? We have been under the 100, the 50, and for sure the 8 and the 20. We've made a nice little move here. We've also made a nice move before and we lost it, right? And actually, okay, let me zoom in and let's start talking about right now. So we break the 8 right here. 2 dojis. I always say dojis don't count, but at least they kept going up. They kept staying over the 8. Nice, good confirmation candle from there. That's not a good confirmation that we broke the 8, but again, we stayed over the 20. We actually stayed over 15%, over 50%, excuse me. Like that wasn't a horrible, bad confirmation. Then boom, 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 boom. Gotta love it, okay? We've now come to a pretty high RSI, okay? I for sure see this gap fill. I'm for sure gonna talk about it in a second, but I actually think it's important to come down here and talk about this 80 rating, okay? Look, 80% of the work is up here, 20% is down here. Whenever I see a high RSI, back of my head, a cool down is just the thing that jumps out, all right? Things don't just keep going, right? Like you need to cool down, and that's what these indicators are supposed to tell us. And look, it was going at a really higher, steeper trajectory, right? We're definitely starting to kind of plateau a little bit. And look, I'm not necessarily saying we're going to drop back down to 30, right? But yeah, I think we need to cool down this 80 a little bit. And hey, we can still stay over the red line, bring this closer to like 70 something, right? And then go back up again. So I'm not necessarily saying it's a scary bad thing, but yeah, I think a cool down is going to be needed. Where's 50%? Oh, okay, we just smashed 50% actually. Where's your 50? Look, I could see this maybe coming back down to 685. Yeah, I think that's actually a decent number because 685 also puts us basically at the top of that guy. Maybe 695 is another support. Top of this, bottom of this, look like it was the bottom of that as well, but top of that, right? Like I think this 693.95 give or take is gonna be a decent spot, and really the 8 moving average might come up there over the next couple days anyways, right? But I love that we've broken the 8 and it looks like the 8 wants to go up. I love that this 20 goes from down to kind of side to actually kind of starting to curve up, right? I think I see that. I'm seeing a whoop. That's good, right? It is. Obviously, this is going to be a really hard line to break, all right? But if you can get over 770, and look, it looked like it was going to happen today, right? Clearly, it is what stopped it. And I do believe it's because of the high RSI. I think if this RSI was like in the 60s and we got to this point, yeah, I actually really think we would have smashed over the 50 and at least wicked this bad boy, okay? But I don't think we're going to fill the gap or especially break the 50 moving average, because again, let's look at that 50. Like literally since about right here, and we tried here and failed, really kind of tried again, failed, kind of tried again. Like this 50 is no joke, right? So I'm honestly less focused here until this RSI resets itself. All right, just my 2 cents. But I like this chart. I imagine the weekly, ooh, okay, weekly's not there. And again, I think it goes back to why I'm saying I don't think it's just yet about the fill, but at the same time, this is kind of saying, hey, there's a very, very good chance that this is going to see 950 over the next maybe week or two. And it's gonna start by making sure we close over 745 by Friday. Okay, break 746 next week. Hopefully, will do its thing. And again, 746. I mean, we can come down till not that low. We can't come down here. Okay, yeah, we gotta. Where is 746? All right, we got to hold 50% candle of where we're at now. All right, that might be a little difficult. Let's see. Because again, that 80 is kind of scaring me. But again, I think that's your magic number. I think it's very, very important to close this week at 746. Because again, just look at the weekly. All right, we've closed over it before but failed, closed over it before but failed, and then really since then haven't yet, right? Since August, man, shit. And even August was a close, even this was a close over. When was the last time we had this was the last 2 consistent weeks over it, which was the before 2022. So it's not going to be easy closing over that number. I don't think the focus should be on filling this. I don't, all right? I might be wrong. Throw it in the comments if you think I'm wrong, for sure, for sure. There's actually no lines I would draw either. And honestly, I don't think I want to set an alert here, because I think setting an alert is going to fool me. It's going to make me think, ah, shit, and it's going to just kind of wick and mess me up. Again, completely my opinion, all right? And I think it's because I'm focusing it on this RSI. So let me know if you disagree. But look, technicals actually don't look bad. It is a bullish stock over the 8 and the 20. I don't care what it is, all right? So last little caveat, I'm always a little scared of like biotech healthcare, because again, if the FDA gives a thumbs up or thumbs down, none of these lines matter too much, okay? So a good mess on this stock, because honestly, I like this chart a lot. I cheated when the viewer request came in. The order was this one first and NVAX last, but we're about to look at HTGM, and yeah, that's not as good a chart, right? So I didn't really want to start with this one. Couple things jumping out at me, right? The 50 moving average is a hard line to break. There is a moving average cluster happening here. There's for sure a very tight one with these 3. And I always say, once you start getting into the 3 moving averages, that's more than 50% of the 5, right? I know it sounds silly, but yeah, 3 is more than half, right? So I don't like when 3 are this tight. I don't like when 4 are that tight. Even this 5 right here is just a little too close for comfort in my book. You know what I mean? The spacing of the moving averages is really, really important to how I make my decisions, for sure. And look, what am I seeing? I'm seeing what happens when you reject the 50. This is the point you got to eject, right? Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, right? Because I don't know what your plans are here. But when you fail a moving average, come back to the bottom of the cluster, even with just these 3. Once you fall out of the bottom, you die, or you break from the top and you fly, right? And yeah, I mean, we clearly tried to break the top. We couldn't. We for sure broke the bottom. And man, today confirmed it. Are we going into all-time lows? Is that where this stock is? Yeah, dude, for sure. This stock is at all-time lows, right? There is no place I want my money. The all-time lows is the word, and it's actually for sure all-time lows. Like that's the last real good green candle. Maybe it's that one, I guess. But yeah, once that was lost, you can just see it in the last couple days too. All-time lows is ugly. The fact that we lost 11% after losing, like I always say when a stock slips into all-time lows, get ready to lose 20%. And then after you lose that 20%, get ready to lose the next 20%. All right. You know what I mean? Like it is a black hole vortex. And yeah, nothing. I for real would not touch this stock. Man, I don't know if I would touch it until it got over the 100. Cause look, I really wouldn't touch it here and kind of want to go there because we've already seen what happens to the 50. Like honestly, I would wait to break the 100 and hopefully ride it to the 200. What I really kind of see happening here is we're going to get a lot of red candles going down, and then maybe at some point there'll be like a recovery swing where we try. I think it's going to be like V-orb. Let me just I think this is what's about to happen. I think we're going to lose this line. We're going to fall down, right? All that. And then you're going to see a nice little, okay, let's try to get back to the 8, but we're going to stay well below the 8 and the 20, all right? It just, if I had to guess, because there's just a good amount that I don't like. It looks like the MACD wants to go much, much lower. It actually looks like the RSI wants to go much, like this is a 40. All right. I don't even say it's oversold until it hits 30. We've seen stocks in the 12s and the 5s, right? Like there is so much lower this RSI can go. It definitely looks like the MACD wants to go. This volume is so insignificant. I really wouldn't be surprised to see this thing lose 50 cents and hit a $1.90 in the next few days. I don't even think in the next week. So let me know if you disagree. Again, I have no idea if this was some sort of like earnings thing or news thing or whatever, right? And one more time, this is healthcare. Thumbs up or thumbs down from the right government agency, and none of these lines matter at all, right? So just some opinions. Let me know if you disagree. Otherwise, please don't hesitate to throw more viewer request videos my way. Hey, thank you.